road trip with two of my friends to Croatia, and we traveled from Zagreb to Split, and we also visited the Plitvice National Park. It was an amazing trip and we did so many things. Today is going to be the video on Zagreb, and I'll also do a more detailed video on the Plitvice National Park, on Split, and then one more general kind of travel guide video for the 10-day road trip itinerary. So for today's video, I'm just gonna go through what we did for a day in the city, what you can see and do while you go there, and just give you a general overview of what the city is like. If you need any quick answers, any quick links, you can find them in the description box down below. And if this video is helpful to you, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to my channel. So let's get into the finances first. The city isn't super expensive. It is kind of like average Europe prices, I think. We spent 20 euros a night for a hostel dorm room with 8 people, and it was a pretty nice hostel. You can definitely find a couple cheaper hostels, but if you just still want a decent bed and everything, then 20 euros is about what you will spend on a hostel there. And then for our last night there, we actually spent a night in a private Airbnb, which was around 50 euros per person for one night. So that is about average what you will spend on your accommodation. Food, I think it was around 25 euros for a day. But overall, I think 60 euros is a good amount of money that you will at least spend for a proper day there with some nice food, a good bed, and some sightseeing as well. So they don't actually use euros in Croatia, they have the Croatian Kuna, and one Kuna is around 13 euro cents and around 15 American dollar cents. For our accommodation, we spent our first couple of nights in the Swanky Mint hostel, which was actually more famous for its bar than the hostel itself. You can also visit the bar if you are not staying in the hostel. It has signature cocktails and it is a really nice bar and a really nice hostel as well. But we did have the room right next to the bar, and if you value your sleep, try to ask for a different room because you could definitely hear the music even when the windows were closed. And then the last night that we spent in Zagreb was the day before we actually went back home, and we spent in the apartment Doma Zagreb, and that was a really nice place to stay. It was a beautiful old building and we just got the key and got everything for ourselves, and that was definitely really nice. Both accommodations were on a good distance from the inner city, and I would just recommend, even if you look for another kind of accommodation, that it is within walking distance of the cathedral, because that is sort of in the city center, and if you can walk there, you can probably walk to most of the places in the city as well. We started our first day off with a good breakfast at Frank and Otto's. We took the Zagreb breakfast, and you can also get a vegetarian version of that. When you go there, just ask them and they will make it for you. So after breakfast, we went to explore the Mirogoj Cemetery, and we took a bus. It went straight from the Zagreb Cathedral to the cemetery, and it was a really nice place to visit. It was peaceful and quiet, and there weren't a lot of people there, but they don't mind a tourist visiting. It seems to be a pretty popular place, but just make sure that you're respectful when you visit there, of course. And then we took the bus back into the city. You can also walk there, but I wouldn't really recommend it because it is a hill that you're climbing, and also the way there didn't really seem to be too interesting. So just take a bus. The bus will cost you a little over €1. After the cemetery, we came back right in front of the cathedral, so that was the perfect time to actually go in and visit the cathedral. So we couldn't actually go inside because we weren't dressed appropriately, which is what I wanted to mention here, that if you do want to go inside any kind of place of worship, you will usually have to wear something that covers your shoulders and your knees. And we didn't have anything with us, and they didn't have anything there to use either. Sometimes you have that, you can rent scarves or something, but we couldn't do that. So that is why we skipped the cathedral, but it is still a pretty imposing imposing building from the outside as well. And then we made our way back into the older part of the city, the upper city, and we walked around the Doma Market, which is a fruit and vegetable market, a very colorful place. It is there most mornings. You can find the opening times on Google. You can also get some refreshments on your way through the cute little streets. And then we made our way to the St. Mark's Church. It is a Roman Catholic church, a really beautiful roof. It was built in the 13th and 14th century, so it has been there for a long time as well, but we couldn't go in there either, of course. So instead we made our way to a tower nearby, which I cannot pronounce the name of. It was a tower that offers a 360 view over the city, and you can see the church perfectly and the cathedral as well, and just all over the city really with its beautiful rooftops. So that is worth a visit. It costs $2.50 to go up into the tower and explore over the city. We were actually the only 2 people up there, and if you go back down again, there is the Museum of Broken Relationships that seems to be quite popular. There was an art market going on as well, and a nice sort of little park was there, and there was of course the Funicular, which is the smallest one in Europe with only 66 meters of height. And do you need to take it down? No, you definitely do not, because it's not that high, but it will only cost you around 50 euro cents, and it is really fun to just take the funicular down. So that's what we did. We made our way back to the lower city, and that is the newer part of the city. Around that time, it was already later in the afternoon. We just had some drinks and some nice food and explored the city even more. We had some burgers for dinners, so nothing too special there, but it was close to our hostel and it was just the perfect ending to our day there. I would recommend to focus mostly on the upper city, the older part of the city, because it is definitely a lot more fun to visit that part. The lower city, so the newer part, I didn't really find too interesting. We walked around that area as well, but there really wasn't that many things that I think you will miss out on. Zagreb is definitely not the most visited place in Croatia. Most people visit the coast and the islands and the national parks, but it is worth a visit if you are in the area, or if you're flying on Zagreb, you can definitely stay there for a day and explore the city, because it is a nice city. It's just not really something that you should just fly on to just go there, unless of course you live quite close to it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Tell me what your favorite city is in Europe. I would love to know. Don't forget to subscribe and have an amazing day. Bye guys.